Power is often imagined as command. A government issues an order. A manager makes a decision. A corporation controls a resource. An institution imposes a rule, but power begins before any of these actions become visible. It begins in what receives attention, in how an issue is classified, in whose knowledge is trusted, in which alternatives are treated as realistic, and in whether those affected retain the capacity to challenge what follows. These questions are examined in the new P publication. The architecture of power, perception, dependency, authority, coercion, and admissible action. The publication develops a comprehensive framework for understanding how power forms, how it becomes effective, how it stabilizes itself, and how it may be governed. Power has been defined through authority, coercion, ownership, hierarchy, influence, force, and control of resources. Each definition captures something important, but no single definition captures the whole architecture. Authority may exist without effective capacity. Capacity may exist without legitimacy. Compliance may arise without consent. Influence may operate without command. And domination may become durable without continuous force. Power is not one mechanism. It is a layered structure. The publication introduces the layered architecture of power, or LAP. It identifies 11 interconnected layers. Perceptual power determines what becomes visible. Ontological power determines what kind of issue exists. Epistemic power determines what counts as knowledge. Positional power determines who may decide. Resource power concerns control of what others need. Dependency power arises when actors rely upon those resources. Admissible power shapes which options remain possible. Influence power changes conduct. Operational power converts intention into effect. Stabilization power makes the arrangement durable, and corrective power determines who can challenge, interrupt, revise, or reverse what has been done. This produces the power precedence principle. Every governance decision is preceded by a power structure that has already shaped visibility, classification, evidence, alternatives, and participation. The person making the final decision may possess formal authority, but deeper power may belong to those who structured the field within which that decision became possible. The publication also develops the concept of alternative set power. This is the capacity to expand, restrict, condition, price, prohibit, or delegitimize another actor's available options. Power does not always require direct coercion. A choice may remain formally voluntary while every practical alternative has been weakened, removed, or made inaccessible. To understand power, we must examine not only the decision that was made, but the alternatives that remained available. A central concern of the book is power, correction, asymmetry. This occurs when actors possess strong power to initiate or sustain action, while those affected possess weak power to question, halt, review, or reverse it. Institutions often concentrate on who can decide. But governed power also requires appeal, audit, scrutiny, feedback, whistleblowing, review, and reversal. Power becomes dangerous when initiating capacity greatly exceeds corrective capacity. Power may also stabilize itself without continuous force. A preferred interpretation justifies authority. Authority shapes resource distribution. Resource distribution creates dependency. Dependency narrows alternatives. Narrowed alternatives increase compliance. Compliance is then interpreted as legitimacy, and legitimacy reinforces the original interpretation. The system begins to validate itself. Durability is mistaken for correctness. Compliance is mistaken for consent. Familiarity is mistaken for necessity. The central distinction of the publication is between power and governance. Power is the capacity to shape reality, alternatives, relationships, conduct, or outcomes.
Governance is the architecture that determines whether, how, and under what constraints that capacity may be exercised. Effective power proves capacity. It does not prove validity. Legitimate power proves recognized authority. It does not automatically prove sound classification, adequate evidence, proportionality, or justice. Power must therefore pass through governance before it becomes admissible action. The framework is applied across organizations, markets, political authority, media systems, technology, platforms, and artificial intelligence. It examines leadership, hierarchy, dependency, gatekeeping, propaganda, algorithmic classification, institutional self-sealing, legitimacy capture, alternative suppression, and correction shock.
Across every domain, the central questions remain the same. Who defines reality? Who controls the alternatives? Who can produce effects? And who can correct the result? The architecture of power presents power not as a single possession, command, or institution, but as a connected structure extending from perception to correction. Its governing proposition is clear. Power becomes governable only when the architecture that produces its effects remains visible, constrained, contestable, and corrigible.